Hello everyone, I'd like to introduce Spirit, one of my all-time favorite G.I. Joes, both toy and a cartoon. He is a Native American, and for those that don't know, I am a third Cherokee, so I have a special affinity for this figure and his character in general. The only arguments about him or against him, you say, is he's a stereotypical of what people expect Native Americans in the 80s. But the stereotypes he also had were the positive ones, like all the positive ones you hear from all the people through the years about them being healing, kind, thoughtful, articulate. I mean, he embodied all the good qualities, at least in my opinion. He comes with with his weapon of choice, freedom. And you can see it attaches with his arm works. He attaches on his arm here, and backpack, and his waist. This can come off like most toys. Now the problem with this one is we had an accident a few months back. I was dusting them off and cleaning them, my figures, and putting back in the stand. Not one, but both of his heels broke off. As you can see, it's not pleasant, it's not fun, and the stands are useless now. These are the two pieces of his heels. I actually thought about maybe super gluing them on, but I also know it's also going to be very problematic in doing that. And of course, here is the evil stand that did that. I'll blame the stand because, well, it's handy. Now for this fix, you got to take him apart at the waist and remove the O-ring to swap out his legs, which is going to be not too bad. Like you see, I have a little pack like I bought this in this is off of eBay. I mean, you can find them all over the place. Has a screwdriver you can use to take the screw out of the back. Has the O-rings, the different bolts for his for the various joints. I'm going to do that. It's going to be very simple. You just unscrew it here. The front chest come off, the arms come out, the head comes off, and then take the O-ring off and you swap out the legs. With any luck, when everything is said and done, you will have a new pair of legs that recently got, that as you can see, the heels are not broken. And we're going to do our best to make sure that remains. So it's took a while to find them. So once the surgery is complete, I'll show you guys the final product, and we'll go on from there. Okay, as promised, I wanted to show you taking apart this tiny little screw. So one in his back, through here, and everything else, the arms, the head, the front of the chest, all hook into it into the torso here. And you can see a little black ring here. That's the O-ring. That's what holds the whole thing together. And that's what's being a pain right now. This is why I took the part up to this point off camera, because, let's all be adults here. I'm going to be probably cussing a lot. So the next bit, as you can see, it's hooked on the hook there. That actually attaches the legs. Take the waist off, transfer the ring over, put on this hook, and swap the legs out. It shouldn't take more than a couple minutes, but again, each one is always slightly different. These are fun to do when you have to, but they can be complicated. So we'll be back to you in a couple seconds after we get done, hopefully putting together without any issues. And here we are. Spirit is prepared, together again, and at some point I do hope to get a new waist for him here because he has a broken crotch, but right now he's whole. See, the feet are good. The only downside here is this leg is very loose in the knee joint, but a little rubber cement just dabbed in to work out great. Here's his other legs, which again, these can be used as various parts. At some point I may just play around with this a little bit, see if I can actually separate the legs from the hook without breaking anything, hopefully. It's like this is a good part to use here, since the legs, I'm not sure how to get them apart from the knees down, but that might be an experiment in the future. Alright, just give me 1 second, get them set up, and we'll be good to go. And here we go. Spirit standing on his stand. No more complications. Freedom has his head down. He's camera shy right now. And some of the joys of the older figures. But this is why we love them. Myself, I grew up playing with these figures. They were awesome. Collecting them now is a double-edged sword because, one, they can be expensive because collectors want them. Fans want them. People pass them on to their children. You get them involved in the fun of them. It's like Yes, they were made to, the figures, the cartoon was made to sell decent figures, but they also told great stories. They kept us entertained, gave us ideas what to do with the figures. So we'd see them, we'd want to go and get them, we'd get them, we'd want to play and recreate those stories. There's always some discoloration, things like that happening, but you know what? This is worth it. It's about what we love to do. As long as we love to do what we're doing, it's great. And this is a fun hobby, and you know, it really keeps us in touch with my childhood. You know, I like to think as a writer that we always, you know, play as adults, and it just gives me another reason to tap into that, remember the good old days, and just have some fun. You know, just collect them, show them off, and at times repair them. Like those O-rings, they do break. I've had several figures, including this one at one point, just break. They're on the shelf. I heard a clang, looked over, the top half is laying on the shelf. The rubber just broke. They're 4 years old. But yeah, appreciate you guys coming with me on this one. Hopefully next time I'll be able to show you more in depth on how to actually do this. Unfortunately, my rigging right now does not allow me to have the vertical look. That's why this is, you know, being handheld and kind of shaky. I'm hoping I can correct that in the future, show more in depth on how to change these, you know, the O-rings to other repairs that are needed. And until next time, I'll see you guys around. Have a good one.